On the air on over 30 radio stations in western Pennsylvania. And on the net with over 10 schools and hundreds of live and archived broadcasts at www.msasports.net. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the MSA Sports Network.
Welcome to the MSA Sports Hometown Volleyball Show here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network. The Hometown Volleyball Show at MSAsports.net is sponsored in part by First Commonwealth Bank, by People's Gas, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Progress, by the East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, by Monticello's Restaurant, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of all girls high school sports on the MSA Sports Network, and by the following boosters and athletic administrations of the West Allegheny Indians, the Blackhawk Cougars, the Central Valley Warriors, the Freeport Yellow Jackets, the Brentwood Spartans, the Avonworth Antelopes, the Southside Beaver Rams, and the Chartiers Houston Buccaneers.
Very pleasant good evening on this Monday here in September. We take a look at girls volleyball tonight here on the MSA Sports Network. And it's the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball Program show right here at MSAsports.net. Tonight, we focus on the West Allegheny Indians, the Indians from not too far down the road in West Day and Imperial, and kind enough to join us tonight. Their head coach, Brian Begor, in studio right now. We'll have 5 players as well, all seniors: Tara Savitsky, Taylor Hottenfeller, Rachel Buck, Audra Killen, and Nicole Ostrander. We'll talk with them coming up here over the next hour or so right here on the MSA Sports Network. Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. Good evening, and welcome in to the MSA Sports World Headquarters. And Sean, good to be back with you in studio again. We don't get too much time in studio together. We're typically out at games, so it's good to see you in the studio. And we'll also now turn our attention to the head coach of the West Allegheny Indians, Brian Begor. Coach, first of all, thanks for coming. We're happy you guys were able to make it out. I know you guys might have got lost a little bit on the way here, but we're glad you guys could make it to our studio.
We're glad to be here. We appreciate you guys having us.
It was a scenic route, Josh, not lost.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. So far, I would say a pretty good start to your year. I know you guys dropped a couple of matches, but it seems like looking at it, you guys beat Moon 3-2. You lost 3-0 to Mount Lebanon, and Bethel Park, it was a 3-2 loss with your 1-2 section record so far. So it seems like despite a couple of losses, you guys are playing pretty tough against some pretty elite teams.
Yeah, our section has, I think, 3 of the top 7 ranked teams in Western Pennsylvania. And we're also at the start of our schedule, we kind of got into the meat of that competition. We'll, so having played Bethel Park and Mount Lebanon on 2 of our first 3 matches, we didn't really have a chance to warm up to it. So, we're kind of getting going. We had just as tough a loss as I can ever remember having coaching in 25 years against Bethel Park. The other night we were up 2-1 and I think 22-15 in the 4th. And we were playing well and they were really struggling, and we just kind of let it get away from us. And that was, that makes a big difference. 2-1 and 1-2 in our section makes a big difference, but it's going to change. It's going to change every night, like it has the last few years, and so you can't really get caught up in what your record is now, because somebody's going to beat somebody the next night that you don't expect happening, and you always have a tough match the next night. So you keep scoring night by night, not by what your record is in our section at least.
And this section, as a whole, Baldwin, Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park, your team, West Allegheny, Chartiers Valley, Moon, McKeesport, like you mentioned, there's really not a night off because from almost top to bottom, it's pretty deep.
Top to bottom, we have the strongest section, in the Whitfield. There are a couple sections whose 1 and 2 teams are as good as our 1 and 2 teams, but when you look at us and Bethel and Baldwin, Mount Lebanon, and even Chartiers Valley, 2 of those teams aren't making the playoffs. So it's a really competitive section, but we really think that's a good thing because if you're fortunate enough to kind of make it through that meat grinder of your section schedule, you're going to go into the Whitfield playoffs just like you've been in the playoffs for a month because every night you really get a nice challenge.
Season number 5?
5, correct, yeah.
So you started your career with a pretty nice run. You guys made the state championship, right?
Yeah, we were, I think, state finalists my first 2 seasons, and we were in AA at that time, and had a lot of experience, and so we kind of had a tough transition. We really made 2 transitions. One, which was going from AA to AAA, which I don't know how significant people who are outside of it think it is, but it's a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we had graduated a lot of players who had a lot of experience, and so we kind of had the double task of moving up a level, but also moving up a level with a lot of kids who haven't played a lot of volleyball before. And in the first season, we on the last night there was an upset and knocked us out of 3rd place. We finished in 3rd, tied for 3rd last year, and so we've made a really nice progression in AAA volleyball, and we're just kind of hoping this year to take that next step.
I would think one of the biggest maybe adjustments to make is, like you talked about, with the depth of the classifications. When you're in AA, you're one of the top dogs, and you're probably going to have nights where it's maybe not so tough for you in your section play. Now you're moving to AAA, and maybe you're not the top dog anymore, and not just that, but from top to bottom, it's getting a lot tougher every night in and night out.
There are very few matches we take the floor and we're just better than somebody. We win a lot of matches and we win our fair share of matches, but I don't know that we're taking the floor just with rolling out better people, and particularly we're small. We haven't played a match this year against anybody anywhere near as small as we are, and that's just kind of cyclical. The years before I got to West Allegheny, they were really big. They had a lot of big kids and and a lot of size, and I don't know that there are 2 6-foot females in our entire high school, let alone playing sports. And so, it's a tough challenge when you're going up against schools that have more depth of talent, and then also we're kind of in a cycle where we just don't have much size. So.
It's the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball Program show, along with head coach Brian Begor of the West Allegheny Indians. I'm Josh Rowntree, alongside Sean Meyers.
And, Coach, you talk about the transition from AA to AAA. It's a big jump, and as you mentioned, you had a lot of young players that were getting their first experiences as well, so it was kind of, doubly difficult. But what can you do as a coach to try to prepare some of your players for that jump? Is there anything really you can do strategically in terms of jumping up to a higher classification?
If you don't excel in specific areas, and one of the things you can't, as a coach, one of the things that you can never control is talent and size. I mean, those are things that are there or they're not. And so you can train a kid to ball handle better or to be more accurate setting the ball better, but you can't train a 5'8" kid to be 6'1". And so you really, as a coach, each season, what you're really trying to do is find a way, given your personnel, to do things that put you in the best position to be successful. And so for us, when we're playing a Mount Lebanon or a Bethel Park, who's just got just a lot of bigger athletes and more talent, is there are certain areas of the game that you have to win. You have to outserve and pass them for sure. You're probably going to have to compete harder than they do, and maybe have a little stronger will than they do. And so it's really just about, we don't spend a lot of energy on the things that we don't have, because those are things that we can't control. But with the things that we do have, and the players and personnel we do have, we try to find a way to leverage the talent that we have and leverage the things that we can do well against our opponents. And that for us is usually just defend really, really hard, serve the ball tough, and just kind of find ways to stress opponents that way, because we can't stress opponents with a matchup. We wouldn't have a specific player that would be in and of themselves be able to create problems or matchup problems for the other team. So you kind of have to do it by committee, and there's some smoke and mirrors involved. But the kids do a good job of understanding that.
Two-part question here. First, do you work in the West Allegheny School District?
I don't. I'm not a teacher. I run a large volleyball club here in Western Pennsylvania, and a few years ago when they had a coaching change at West Allegheny, the football coach is a friend of mine, and kind of had contacted me about, hey, we really need a coach here. And my wife was the head volleyball coach at Mount Lebanon for years, and when my daughter finished playing, she stopped coaching. So it became possible for me to coach in the fall. It's really, you couldn't have two coaches coaching in the fall and raise kids, and so it just kind of worked out that I had some time to be able to do it, and I had some connections and relationships with the school through the football coach and some families, and so I just kind of fell into it.
Well, the follow-up is I remember when I was in high school about 10 years ago. I'm fairly tall. I'm 6'1". At that time, I could jump fairly well. One of the gym teachers was the boys volleyball coach, and he said, "Hey, come try it for the team." And I didn't, but I always thought, is volleyball a sport where you go out and you try to recruit girls that are athletic, girls that are tall, and are you able to do that at West Allegheny, not being a teacher there? How do you grow the program, basically?
Well, for us, it's been we spent a lot of energy developing younger kids playing, and so we have a summer camp, and we've gotten a lot of kids involved who are 8, 10 years old, and so really it's just trying to grow the game within the community, get more. Ultimately, the more kids that you can have involved, the end game is you're going to have a larger pool of kids to draw from. But like I said, I think there might be one 6-foot girl, in our entire high school, and right now, really, none of our girls' athletic teams are really excelling, and part of that is the jump to AAA, and part of it's just cyclical. You'll have years where you just you'll have a ton of size and a ton of great athletes, and then other years, that pool isn't as great, but you still got to coach them up, and you still got to find a way to be competitive, and our girls do a good job of that. One of the things that I really like about this group is that even with less experience and less size, one of the things I really like about what the group has done, they're not interested in the expectation level of West Allegheny of volleyball lowering because we're not rolling out 6-footers or 3 Division I players, and it'd be pretty easy to do that. It'd be pretty easy to say, well, we're just not going to be great. I mean, that's the standard for those guys, and that's the standard we keep every day. And I'm impressed by them. I think it says a lot about them that they still want to see themselves and measure themselves, by the standards of what the program's always been. So.
Now, talking about the expectations for your team, what do you think some of the strengths are of your girls out there on the floor? Is there anything that's really jumped out? I know it's still early in the season, but what have you seen in the early going that you think is really a strong suit for your squad?
Well, we have a great player. We have a great player who also happens to be in the position that you would want your strongest player to be in, which is the setting position, in Tara Savitsky. And so, she's she's a great athlete and a great competitor. And when I say we haven't taken the floor and we've had more talent than anybody else, we haven't taken the floor who has had anybody anywhere close as good as she is in her position. And the bonus of that is that the position that she is in is such a critical position. So we have an exceptional player who has a lot of experience. I think the other things that we have going we have a group of kids that like each other. And I think one of the nice things about having a team like we do is it's not a group that's built on superstars and whatever. It's kind of everything has to be done by committee. There aren't any sacred cows. There's no there's no big separation within the group, and I think there are some real positives, there are some positives to that, and so, we kind of just try to figure out ways to that our sum is going to be better than our parts, and that we have to be to beat teams, we have to be a great team, and that creates a lot of challenges, but. I think it's fun to coach a group of kids, who need to figure out a way to collectively get it done because we just aren't going to have a player take over a match. So,
speaking to that, you said you don't have some of this size, maybe not the depth of some of these teams you're facing, but of the things you can control, what is the biggest area that you'd like to see your team improve upon throughout the season?
One of the things that I think one of the things that all teams have to do to be really, really good teams is they have to identify how that's going to happen. And so you have to have a strong sense of identity. For us, because we can't win a lot of battles at the net, serving the ball tough is really, really important. Because when you serve the ball tough, the game moves from being decided above the plane of the net to being decided from the backcourt. And at this point, we're just a good serving team, and that's not good enough for us. We can't be a great team if we're not an exceptional serving team. And so as a group, we need to take more risks from the serving line. We just need to serve the ball more competitively. And that's something that we talk about every day, but ultimately players decide matches and do those things. And so it's just kind of incumbent on them that they say, hey, we're going to have to get after it from the baseline.
I think I saw this on your team booster website. You guys hired Yoko Nagao as an assistant. Is that right?
Yeah.
Talk about how that came, because obviously someone that has a lot of experience in this region and also at AAA volleyball. Being at Upper St. Clair, a lot of experience at the highest level.
Yeah, Yoko was a longtime head coach at Upper St. Clair. She's worked for me for years. In club volleyball, and just somebody that I have a ton of respect for and a lot of trust in. And she, her tenure at St. Clair ended, and I didn't waste any time trying to get her involved in the program, just because again it's just another person who has experience. She's really, really good with the kids. A lot of the kids know her, and again I just think from a coaching staff standpoint, there's probably nothing more important than that the people that are on your staff that you just really have a high level of trust in. And Yoko's she's a great asset, and and a good friend, and just we're just super fortunate to have her on our staff.
We asked you kind of a lot of the serious questions of the volleyball side of things, and typically with the girls it's a little more fun. But we'll ask you some kind of fun questions too. Getting to know
I'm a fun guy.
I know we were talking about Ray Donovan, the TV show, before we came in, but we kind of do this thing: favorite movie, TV show, and musical artist. So we'll start with movie. Favorite movie of all time.
That's a really, really tough question because one, I'm a movie buff. And to me, movies are either great because they're just great, so great filmmaking, like the Godfather is, that's great filmmaking, or they're great because they're absurd, like the movie Roadhouse. So if I got home late and it were 1:30 in the morning and I was just about to fall asleep and Roadhouse came on, no question I would watch it start to finish. But I would have to say favorite movies of all time would have to be The Godfather, maybe The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good choices. I'm the same way, though, because if I had to pick, like, one of the greatest movies ever made, greatest films,
sure,
like, I'm throwing, like, Shawshank Redemption in there, of, that kind of ilk.
Sure.
But if
nothing like a good bad movie.
If Anchorman comes on at midnight, I'm watching it till 2 a.m.
Sure,
I'm the same way. All right, so favorite TV show. I know we talked about Ray Donovan, but favorite TV show.
Favorite TV show. I watch very, very little television. But I would have to say my favorite TV shows would be, I'm a big Curb Your Enthusiasm guy on HBO.
There you go.
I love Larry David.
So Seinfeld up there then?
Yeah. I was a Seinfeld fan, but Larry David is Seinfeld if you didn't have any limits to what you could do. But I like the dryness and the uncomfortableness of that show, and so I really like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I like Ray Donovan and like True Detective. So they're really good. The great shows that have been on the premium channels that they've done a really good job. But I don't really watch a lot of television.
Good taste in TV shows, because we're 3 for 3 on those ones you mentioned. Last question we'll ask you: favorite musical artist?
Favorite musical artist? That's a tough one too, because I probably own as much music as any 25 people I know, and that's probably my next to books. Music is definitely my first passion. So I'll give you 3. I'm a big Wilco fan.
All right, good.
I'm a huge Prince fan across 4 decades of just what is great music, and after that I couldn't give you one. But though if you went on my iPad or whatever, you would find a pretty extensive amount of music by those groups, among other groups, and as long as it's not country.
You mentioned books. Desert Island. You can take one book. What's it going to be?
Oh, Desert Island. One book. That's a pretty tough call. Give me a sec.
You'd probably take a hardback book if you're going to be on a desert island.
I would. Yeah, it's funny because that's one of those questions. If you asked me one day, it's like music. If you asked me one day, my answer might be different, but I don't. Yeah, I can't. Really, that's hard to kind of come. I would say that. Wow, if I had one book, that is just such a...
We can let you think about it. We'll bring it back at the end and let you think about it if you want.
I'm going to say there's a book called The Confederacy of Dunces.
Okay.
And it is one of the most hysterical book I've ever read. But if you look that A Confederacy of Dunces up, it's a really, really good book, because that would... I'd laugh every day, which seems to be like a thing you'd probably want to do if you were alone on a desert island. So
to follow that question, though, do you try to relate your interest in movies or music with your team?
Yeah,
do you talk about that stuff?
Books in particular. I get a lot of strange looks from those guys referencing, whether it's a poet or a book or or a film. But I do. It's funny because I've never read a book about coaching. And sports. I mean, I just can't think of anything less interesting to me ever. But when I do read books, I definitely see. I'll give you a really good example, like watching The Wizard of Oz with my daughters. It occurs to me when you're watching that book, it's the perfect story for teams. One, because it starts off where you have 5 characters or 4 characters who start off on this journey to each find the one thing they want. Dorothy wants to go home. Tin Man wants a heart. The lion wants courage. And they have to go on a journey. And the journey gets hard. And the harder their journey gets, the group pulls together more. And there's a certain point in the book where all of the individuals surrender their own the one thing that they want for what Dorothy wants. And so when I watch a movie like that, I'm saying that's what teams do. All good teams at some point have to...
You're around, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in 10th grade, I was still playing club, but then I decided I wasn't going to play in college, so I didn't play club anymore. But that didn't mean, volleyball isn't in the question at all, because in the off seasons and stuff, we had to work hard every day in the weight room. So I
think most people don't realize, and really with any sport now, it's almost year round, and kind of the days of multi-sport athletes in high school are going away. So, what, and this, all three of you can answer this. What do you guys do in particular year round? Do you play? And we can go over to Taylor too, 'cause we'll get her on a mic. What do you guys do year round as far as, club teams, travel teams? What do you guys participate in year round?
Well, I personally play softball too, so I play softball all the way till the end of the school year, and then I start summer training again in the summer, obviously, and we have that about 3 days a week, so it's nonstop. Once volleyball's over this season, I'll start softball too. So
you find that doing volleyball kind of, in a way, at least from like an athletic and conditioning standpoint, definitely maybe gives you a bit of an advantage, because I know like there's a lot of athletes, they're going from football into basketball, they come to conditioning, they're already conditioned before the season. That has to help you, right?
Yeah, it helps a lot. The conditioning can be hard for softball, so it's nice to have a little boost.
So the two of you over to the left here, what do you guys do as far as year-round volleyball and year-round sports in general?
Well, I'm one of those. I play volleyball year-round, so I really have no months off. I play for, Brian's Club Renaissance. So after this, it's right into Renaissance. And after that, because our team actually made it to nationals the past 2 years. So if we go up all the way to like July. But then I'm already training for West A in the summer. So for me personally, it's year-round.
For me, I just like to run on my own, really. I mean, that's how I like to stay conditioned, because I enjoy it, so that's what I like to do.
In terms of specific workouts, you talk about, you're in the gym and everything. It seems like obviously your legs and your calves are critical for volleyball. What else do you really try to focus on? And do you guys do anything? Do you do like plyometrics? Do you do any P90X or Insanity or anything? Or what typically do you do in terms of your workouts to get prepared?
We have awesome workouts. Our Coach Palco, our head football coach, designs, actually for every sport. We actually have a class that we can take, and he designs a workout for every single sport to target on the specific areas. So we work a lot of shoulders during season.
Joints, really. I mean, squats,
ankles.
Everything,
Do you hate doing leg days? Is that as bad as most people?
We love working out.
The volleyball players like it. It's probably the football players.
We love leg day.
So this is a question that probably every West A student should know, being that they're at West A. What's Coach Palco's all-time record in football championship games?
7.
7-0. All right,
7.
They got it. They got it. All right, they passed.
7.
They passed the West A.
We're on that.
Were you guys at Heinz Field last year? Did you go down?
Absolutely.
I was on the field, actually.
Oh, you were on the field?
Yeah, I was on the field. Last year, I actually didn't play volleyball.
Okay.
And I participated in the junior athletic training program, and I got to be with the football team, and we went down on the field, and I was like with them every practice. It was like I played a sport. So,
Right.
it was a good experience, though.
And that has to be, West A sports in general are always, it's one of the best in Western Pennsylvania, but seeing kind of what the football team does every fall, you guys, I'm sure, because, there's soccer too, but, really volleyball is becoming one of the more popular sports in Western Pennsylvania, in the fall next to football. I'm sure you guys see kind of what they do in the fall, and you kind of want to match that on your own, right?
Yeah.
No, definitely, yeah. We actually this year we got to be like water girls / ball girls. So we're actually all on the field.
again.
And,
Oh, okay.
I mean, we admire all the football players and how hard they work, and it's good to be surrounded by that kind of atmosphere and like
It's
all the
good.
coaches, and
It's a motivation.
You should make them admire you. That's what you should do.
That's
They
the
should
plan.
they should be admiring the hard work of volleyball players.
yeah,
year-round, really.
absolutely.
Sean, do you have any other thing?
Yeah, to that point, talk about the support. Typically, what do you get from your fans? How much you're able to feed off of that? And is there a decent amount of interest in your school in terms of the volleyball program? I know you guys were very successful, as we mentioned, when you were in AA. You've made the playoffs last year in AAA. Do you get some good support from your students there?
I'm gonna be honest. When we were freshmen, we had a ton of students come. The stands were always packed. As the years gone on, there's been less of students.
You can put them on blast.
So
You can-
fair weather volleyball
come
fans.
to our matches. No, but football players have their workouts. Soccer has games, but some of them come. It's been definitely decreasing.
And really, though, like West A, it seems like one of those schools where the majority of students are playing some sort of sport too. It's not like you have the same group that's playing, football in the fall and basketball in the spring and baseball, and it seems like a lot of kids at the school play sports.
Yeah, I would say.
Sean, do you have anything serious to add before we get to kind of the fun part of all this?
I guess this is a pretty basic one. I'm sure you guys have been asked before, but what are your expectations first as a team and second individually for your senior years?
As a team, I just want to make playoffs this year. That's my goal. Senior year, I just want to come out with a bang, And then individually for my senior year, I just want to keep my grades up, get into hopefully Pitt or Penn State, and go from there.
Yeah, every year is the same depending on how much talent you have. The expectation level is still the same. If it's an awesome team filled with all-state players or if it's a team of inexperienced kids, the expectation level is always going to be the same. So, our team just get better, work on the things we have to, become better people just for life in the future. And,
I'd have to agree with both Rachel and Tara. I just want to have fun this year. It's my senior year. I want to win. My senior year, I just want to get through it, I guess I should say, and go to college. I don't know where, but I want to be a teacher.
Okay. Tara, any idea on colleges? I know you probably have some schools looking at you for volleyball. Any ideas on where you want to go, what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm still unsure right now. Still looking at schools. I'm playing volleyball. I know I want to be a teacher, do occupational therapy. So I kind of have that set what I want to do, but I'm still looking around for schools. So
now you had committed previously to Maryland, correct? And then you decided that wasn't the right school. Talk about first off the decision process and what you're looking at in school, and then what led you to open, I guess, your recruitment once again.
Well, in a school, I want to make the best out of my 4 years, and I want to be happy. And Maryland was awesome. Went there to camp, awesome, loved the coaches and the staff, loved the players and everything, loved the campus. But at the end of the day, I kind of just had a reality check of what I wanted and where I felt like I could be the best and my role on the team, So it was a tough decision, absolutely, but I made my decision, so we're here where we are.
Is it maybe a case of now looking to less prominent schools so that maybe you get a little bit more playing time early, or does that not really matter? Is it just going to be the right fit?
If I want to play volleyball in college, I want to play.
Right.
I don't want to sit. So that was another thing. I kind of realized my role, but if I'm going to play, I want to play. I don't want to be on the sidelines.
I got a two-part question. First off, I read an article. There was a question about what position you might play in college, and I know that your height was somewhat came into question in terms of what you would be at the next level. What position do you want to play, and what are the indications you're getting from some of the colleges of where they want you to play?
Well, I always thought I'd be a D-spec, but as I'm a setter and I keep working on those skills, I can see myself as being a setter and leading the team, and I really enjoy setting. But if it depends on what level I would go to play in college, so the less the level of the competition, I could probably be a setter, but with my height, that's just genetics, and I can't change that. But so I would look for more of a D-spec if I were to go to a higher level.
Now I mentioned an article. I got this nice article in the Post-Gazette about you. I always wondered, do athletes, and I guess you in particular, do you read all the stuff that's written about you? And is it something that it's more so your parents or your family makes a bigger deal, and it doesn't interest you, or is it something that you told some people about and you definitely read it, every word, top to bottom?
Like, did you post it on Twitter? Like, did you?
No,
okay.
I didn't. No. It's not obviously nice to see those things, but at the end of the day, I don't. Definitely my parents and my family were more of. They got all the phone calls and all that, and I kind of just kept to myself. It's it is what it is. It's an awesome, and I'm super honored and everything. But at the end of the day, it's how you play out on the court.
Teammates getting a little jealous that you're getting all the publicity, right?
Yeah, she can have it.
It's better to stay out of the spotlight. All right, so enough serious stuff. We're gonna have some fun with some questions now. We're just going to go down the line. We're going to start with the left. So, Rachel, you're up first.
Okay.
Favorite school subject?
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to go with German. I think
German?
Yeah,
All right.
I love German.
Can you say anything in German?
Oh,
Guten
gosh.
Tag.
All right. Well,
Something more complex.
I hope that's not all they've taught you.
I can say that.
Gosh, that's you on the spot. I'm not.
This is awesome.
Dieser ist prima.
All right. Do you want to use your German for anything one day?
Absolutely.
You want to go to Germany one day?
I was in Germany this past summer.
All
yeah.
right.
So,
Cool.
yeah, I think I want to major in it. So.
Okay, cool. Favorite movie?
That's a toss-up between Remember the Titans and Titanic. Both classics. They're my favorite.
Remember the Titans right there.
I
That's
know
a great
every word.
pick.
It's my favorite.
Great.
Love it.
Great pick. Favorite television show? Could be one on now. Could be all time. Up to you.
All time, definitely Friends.
Okay.
It's on all the time. Probably have seen every episode ever. Love it.
And favorite musical artist or band, whatever. Whatever you like.
I think I'm gonna go with Rihanna.
Rihanna,
And
okay.
I mean, not most of her mainstream stuff. I know it's not that great, but I like a lot of her songs. I mean, she fits like every mood. So
All right.
love Rihanna.
Cool. All right, Tara. We'll start with you. Favorite school subject?
English.
English. Okay. Favorite movie?
I don't know. I love.
Cool.
Oh, Miracle. Yeah, I love my hockey.
Okay.
I love Miracle.
Good movie.
I love The Warrior.
All right.
And I'm also a huge fan of my Aladdin, and
All right.
I'm
There
a
you go.
huge fan of Disney. Still
Aladdin's great.
Still haven't grown. Oh, I love it.
Favorite musical artist band?
Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan. Did
I
you go to
love
the concert?
country. Oh yes, I went to
All
the
right.
concert.
I was there too.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll slide down to Taylor. Taylor, favorite school subject?
Right now, I'm gonna have to go with biology.
Okay. All right.
But if I had to pick like all 4 years, because I only took bio this year, probably like a math
Okay.
rather than English.
Favorite movie?
I'm gonna have to go with The Guardian.
The Guardian. Okay. Who's in The Guardian?
I don't know actors.
Okay.
A war movie.
I assume that there were actors in it. I think we all figured that. All right.
I don't know.
All right. So, favorite TV show?
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl. Okay. Is that on TV anymore?
No, it's on Netflix.
Okay. All right. All right.
Awesome.
Favorite musical artist or band?
Probably Kenny Chesney or Luke Bryan.
Okay. Did you go to the Luke Bryan concert
Yeah.
too? All right. Did you guys go together?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is kind of the time where you get to spill some dirt on the people who are not in here. So it could be about Coach, it could be about Audra or Nicole, but like funniest thing that's happened with them. And keep in mind, they're gonna say this. We're gonna ask them the same question about you guys. So keep that in mind.
Audra.
Anything
When she
funny?
gets like worked up.
Audra
Yeah.
is sassy.
Audra is sassy.
Audra's sassy.
Audr's a sass master.
Very.
She's
Okay.
too funny.
All right. We're not going to see that when we bring her in here, are we? She's not going to like yell at me and Sean.
You might read it.
All right. All right.
You might get the vibe.
Yeah.
All right. Sassy
Nothing
Audra.
pops out at me.
Just anything in general with the team, like anything funny in general. Any good
Well, I mean,
stories?
first of all, Brian's just a classic dude. I mean,
Never
there's
dull moment.
there's never a dull moment. Yeah.
we could tell from the 25 minutes we have with him.
if we had a list of all the funny things he did and said,
He's
gotta laugh.
he's something else.
yeah,
I think
I don't know where
that
to
go on.
that has to be awesome though, to have a coach that obviously knows a lot about the game, but also is pretty relatable, pretty funny. I mean, obviously he's older than you guys. He's a man. You don't really probably have a lot in common, but he's still able to kind of entertain you as well as be your coach. That has to be, a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
he's a super unique dude.
Yeah.
Sean, anything fun to ask here?
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
All right.
Well, first off, because I've been drinking my little fake Gatorade here. Do you guys do you do Gatorade during a game? Do you do water? What's it? Do you have your own choice, or is it kind of a team determined thing?
I do
choice,
water.
We do water.
I can't do Gatorade.
H2O.
Yeah, water.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Okay, let's talk social media. I know we were joking, Josh and I, about the one host last week asking about Snapchat, but I'll ask about, do you have a preference between Twitter and Facebook, and is there any people, if you are into Twitter, that are absolutely the best people to follow, whether it be someone you know or a celebrity that you're always up on their stuff? And you can mention people's names from your school. we won't hold that against you guys.
First of all, it's definitely Twitter. I go on Facebook sometimes, but Facebook's like family.
Yeah.
Who's good to follow? I don't know. There's some weird accounts out there.
Milk.
I don't know.
Shoot, who's funny? Well,
I don't know.
we know who you want to follow, Jesse James.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd pick Twitter. Yeah, I agree with Facebook's more family, but I'm obsessed with Jesse James Decker. I don't know if you guys know her. You know Eric Decker?
Yeah.
His wife.
Okay. Oh, they have the reality show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I love her. I want to be her.
Instagram's pretty good too.
Yeah, like Instagram.
I would pick
I like
Instagram
pictures.
out of all of them.
Yeah.
Instagram. All right.
Interesting.
See, we need to get an Instagram account.
Yeah, you do?
I don't do.
I pitched it, but we're in a limbo period. We gotta wait
I
to
think
get
that's
permission.
almost more popular.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like we do a lot. We do a lot on Twitter.
Here's a question: if I get an Instagram, do I have to actually put pictures up on there, or am I going to look like a creeper if I don't put any and I just follow?
You're gonna look like I can answer that for you. You're gonna look
creepy, but you can
Because
get some pictures on there.
I don't really like when I was telling Josh when the Snapchat thing. I don't really dig the whole pictures thing. I just look at whatever they post on the timeline
Does
or whatever.
anybody use Snapchat? People actually use that
all the time.
All right.
It's like more of like it's not
A younger
for, like,
generation.
Yeah, it's not for like you
Us
guys
old
would-
guys? Okay,
No,
yeah,
no,
all
no.
right.
Not like that.
Oh, yeah.
You guys wouldn't get
High
one,
school.
but like it's like for friends sort
Yeah.
of. You just
Just
send,
when you're
It's
bored.
silly.
Yeah.
Silly little snap, yeah.
It's not for us old guys with no friends, is what they're saying. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
I mean,
I'm just
I don't know
kidding.
how to
I have
say
Snapchat, but I rarely use it. People send me Snapchats, and I'm like, okay.
It's
well,
fun sometimes.
I just text them back. I'm like, cool picture. All right, I could see that for 10 seconds. That's a lot of fun. All right, we'll get you guys out of here because we have like 20 minutes left, so we got to get the other girls in here, Audra and Nicole. But from left to right again, if you're watching, Rachel Buck, Tara Savitsky, and Taylor Hottenfeller, and I did pronounce her name right, and we have an even tougher name coming up next, I think, so that's fine. Thank you guys so much. Happy birthday, Tara. We're going to bring everybody back in to sing at the end, so you guys hang out, we'll bring everybody back, and we'll sing happy birthday. We did this on a show last year, too. It was somebody else's birthday last year for another show we did. We sang happy birthday at the end. So
Do I get anything for my birthday if we?
No, you don't. We do. No,
Dawn
no.
wouldn't bring me a cake or balloons or something.
Not a chance.
November 3rd, if anyone's interested.
It's not gonna. Stop.
I'll bring you a cake.
Yeah, we'll come back.
All right, Tara, Taylor, and Rachel, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you at the end when we sing happy birthday. But if you guys want to head out, and you can grab Audra and Nicole and send them in. We're going to take a quick commercial break. But thanks again, guys, and we look forward to seeing you at a couple matches this season.
Thank you
for having us.
All right, that was Tara Savitsky, Taylor Hottenfeller, and Rachel Buck. We'll be back with Audra Killen and Nicole Ostrander. That's after these words with Sean Meyers. I'm Josh Rowntree. This is the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball Program show right here at MSASports.net.
Right? I get that at Carlo. I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
East Suburban Sports Medicine, the proven leader in physical therapy. We'll help you get back into the game. Feel better, play better, live better. When your doctor suggests physical therapy, be a healthy consumer and ask for us by name. Experts in caring for high school athletes. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care, hands down.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends upon both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the field turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as a FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today at 866-270-6003 or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Make sure to follow the MSA Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, links to our articles, and much more. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MSA Sports and get in on the conversation with thousands of local sports fans. Follow us on Twitter at MSA Sports and check out our YouTube channel, MSA Sports WPIL, for hundreds of video interviews with local student athletes, game highlights, and more. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
The natural gas delivery system is extremely safe. Leaks do occur on occasion. People's Natural Gas would like to remind you to use your senses, smell, sight, and sound to detect the warning signs of a natural gas leak. If you believe there is a natural gas leak, leave the area immediately and then call your natural gas company's emergency service line or dial 911. These lines are available for natural gas emergencies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit peoples-gas.com to learn more. This message is brought to you as a public service from Peoples, your hometown natural gas company.
East Suburban Sports Medicine, leaders in physical therapy, will help you get back into the game. Feel better, play better, live better. Our focus is on your results. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care, hands down.
Hi, this is Don Rebel inviting you to log on each Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for This Week in the WPIAL, only here on the MSA Sports Network. Join me along with other MSA Sports members each week as we talk to head coaches around District 7, plus run down all the high school football action and preview the top games for the upcoming weekend. That's This Week in the WPIAL, Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
All right, we're back here with the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball Program Show. It's a long name, isn't it? Alongside Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. Great talking so far with Brian Begor, who he peaced out. He left a while ago.
He's a busy man.
He's got books to read.
watch.
He's got Ray Donovan and all sorts of things to watch on TV. He didn't have time. That's fine. But we're also joined by Tara Savitsky, Taylor Hoddenfeller, and Rachel Buck. Now we are joined by Audra Killen on the left. If you're watching on the MSA feed, you guys can wave to the MSA. Did you watch any of it out there in the hall?
Yeah.
Good. And on the left, Audra Killen, and she's a middle hitter, a senior. Both are seniors. 5 seniors in here tonight. And on the right, Nicole Ostrander. Got that right?
Yeah.
Last name good? All
Yeah.
right. I have a tough to pronounce last name, too, so I understand. And Nicole's a defensive specialist for the West Allegheny Indians. First of all, we'll ask you guys a couple of volleyball questions. We went through a lot of volleyball already tonight, and it's a volleyball show, but it's not really what it's about.
It's kind of a volleyball show.
Yeah, it's roughly a volleyball show. Let's talk about your section, though, because we didn't talk about it too much with the last group in here. You guys, in your section, Baldwin, Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park, yourselves, Chartiers Valley, Moon, McKeesport. It's a tough section, and I think you guys probably have already found out this year, even maybe when you play pretty well against a team like Bethel Park, like your coach was talking about, you still might lose even when you're playing pretty well. So what kind of motivation does that bring you, knowing that you really have to bring your A game every night?
And just knowing that you're giving your best effort is just all that matters, I guess. I mean, winning is great, but losing, okay, it sucks. But what can you do about it? If you give your best effort, you're just best off.
So as far as like the teams you have to play, I mean, you guys so far, you've played Moon, you won that. It was close. You won 3-2. You lost 3-0 to Mount Lebanon. Do you guys think maybe Mount Lebanon might be the team to beat in this section, or is a team like Baldwin? Do you know anything about them? What do you know about these teams in your section?
I definitely think Mount Lebanon's probably the team to beat. Mm-hmm. They're not impossible to beat. We definitely can beat them.
We didn't play well that game.
Yeah, we didn't play very well. We've played Baldwin at a tournament scrimmage, and it was a close back-and-forth game, but it was preseason. Everyone was learning positions and to work with each other, so it's definitely going to be an interesting and competitive game. You guys have them on Thursday. Before that, though, you have McKeesport tomorrow. McKeesport 0-4 this year. How do you go about maybe not overlooking McKeesport, looking ahead to a big game against Baldwin on Thursday?
I know we have to prepare for every single game that we play. I mean, obviously Baldwin is going to be a good game to play. They're going to compete against us, and we're going to bring it right back to them. I mean,
yeah. You can't overlook them. You have to look at them like they are Baldwin or they are Mount Lebanon. Like, you can't just play down to their level. You have to play at your highest level you can.
So, Audra, you're the middle hitter, middle blocker, right? And Nicole, you're the defensive specialist. Audra, what's it like being a middle hitter, middle blocker? That has to be, I would think, of all the positions, that's the one that I think I would enjoy to play the most, because you're getting the kills, you're getting the blocks. Yeah, you're moving nonstop. It has to be pretty fun to play that position. Talk about how that came to be, when you started playing that position, when you started playing volleyball in general.
I played volleyball since I was 7th grade. I was middle blocker, middle hitter, whatever you want to call me. I actually started playing varsity my sophomore year because our bigger middle hitters, whoever, they all graduated, so they had to bring someone up. So Brian chose me, and he just kind of worked with me throughout the years. And like last year, I was with Lizzie Murn, and she was running those slides and stuff, and I wasn't really good at them, so I just stuck with my ones. And this year, I'm doing good on my slides, so I'm just getting around.
The slide play would be like a back set, and you slide behind the setter and hit. Okay, all right. See, I got to get my because we do matches too, so I got to get my
not
terminology.
Not
down.
Volleyball experts, we are not. No. But a question I always wonder, volleyball. A lot of people might not realize the fact that those balls sometimes are just coming at an incredible speed, and this might apply more to Nicole, but. Do you ever have any hesitancy when you see someone going up for a big spike? Maybe there's a really tall athletic girl on another team, and you know she's going to swing at full might. How do you get that mentality to stand in there, whether it's trying to block at the net or trying to dig something, knowing that it's coming full speed and you have, half a second to react maybe?
I mean, you kind of just can't think about it. You kind of just have to do what you've practiced and just trust that you've been trained well enough to make a play, and if it's outside of your body and you have to run it down, just do your best, try to get a touch, try to get someone else to play it, get it over the net.
It's so reactionary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, especially the defensive position. You're back there, you're just waiting to have this volleyball sent at you at 50 miles an hour, and you kind of have to make a play on it. You don't have any other choice. You have to make a play on it.
Yeah, and personally, the more I think about it, the more I just kind of freak myself out. So if I'm just relaxed, and
we won't mention it then.
If I kind of
good thing you're not playing tonight.
If I kind of just relax and don't worry about it and do what I've been trained to do, then everything kind of works out.
Either of you ever had any injuries from playing volleyball?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes. My freshman year, I actually hairline fractured my ankle.
Oof,
so I was in a cast the whole entire season. I was so mad, but what can you do?
Now, how did that happen?
I was blocking. We were doing some blocking drills upstairs, and I landed on a girl's foot, and I just cracked my ankle. And I looked down, and my ankle was the size of a golf ball. I was like, oh my gosh, why would this happen to me? I didn't even do anything wrong.
Now, talk about, did you ever consider that you were going to stop volleyball after that, or did you know that you were on the comeback trail and that you were ready to go back for your next season?
Oh, I had to come back. My sophomore year, I actually played for club for Renaissance. We ended up going to nationals, so it was a pretty big deal. I mean, not having my freshman year, I'm glad that I have my freshman year, not my senior year, because I'd be so mad. So mad.
Nicole, anything for you, or you've been pretty healthy?
I've broken some fingers.
Oof. Yeah. Do you just tape them up, or how do they handle it?
She says it so nonchalant. I just broke a couple fingers. It's no big deal.
Yeah, my dad always says if you can't see the bone, you're fine. So my dad would just tape my fingers together, and I just go back out and play.
That sounds like punishment, actually.
That has to be tough, though. Because you're, as a defensive player, you're trying to dig, you're trying to get a hand on a ball in any sort of way possible, and with your fingers broken, that has to be pretty painful to do that. I mean, does it limit you at all, or are you just throwing your broken finger out there to knock it in the air?
It doesn't really limit me. I just kind of don't worry about it. I mean, every now and then it would hurt.
Right.
But I just wouldn't worry about it. Try to do my best. just kind of...
See, as difficult as being on our show might be, answering questions and all that, it's never going to be more difficult than playing volleyball with broken fingers. So,
Right, yeah.
You can relax. It's no problem. Sean, do you have anything else?
I think we covered the vast majority of things.
I did have something. We kind of talked to them. Playing for Brian Begor. I mean, this is a guy that has a ton of experience, not just in high school. He brings in Yoko Nagao as well, who has a ton of experience at AAA and with Upper St. Clair. And talk about playing for a coaching staff that there's a lot of schools out there in the WPIL that they have a third grade English teacher that's, the only person that wants to coach or whatever. You guys have a coach that is there because he really knows what he's doing. Talk about kind of the luxury of that and how nice it's been to have a guy like Brian Begor as your head coach.
Brian prepares us for all of our matches. So we look at film, watch film, and just prepare us for what we need to be prepared for. I mean, Yoko, I love having Yoko because she helps us middles, like with Morgan, Abby, and Macy. We go to our own court and we work on our blocking, our hitting. She's like hitting the ball.
So wait, Yoko works with the hitters.
Yes. Yeah. You wouldn't think that, but she does. She was a middle hitter when she played volleyball.
She could probably jump pretty well then.
I know, yeah.
Because she's not a very tall lady.
Not very tall, yeah. That's why I get so I was like, you really play middle hitter? She's like, yeah, I did. I was like, oh, okay.
Same thing. Nicole just. Playing for Brian and kind of the experience that he has, and past there, just not just the coaching at the high school level, but the club coaching, travel. That has to be pretty nice to play for a coach like that.
It definitely keeps you on like a regimented kind of like playing schedule, because usually if you go from one coach to another, usually your defense is different, like everything about it is different. When you stay with one coach, everything's just kind of the same, so you know what to expect. You kind of know what's going on more than maybe someone else who's like newer, but it's definitely nice. You get
very fortunate.
Yeah, you get a lot of new. Like he brings in a lot of new ideas, but it's nothing far from what he was teaching you before.
Okay,
I got a good one, Josh. You gave me some time to think about it. I know that you're both seniors and you still have a lot of the senior season left, but do you have a favorite moment through your high school career with the volleyball team, whether it be an individual play, maybe a big team victory that stands out, anything that comes to the forefront that to this point would be your favorite volleyball moment at West Allegheny?
I mean, my favorite moments are just at the end of the games where we all just are so excited after for winning and stuff. We just all hug each other and
do you have any pre-rehearsed celebration that you guys do?
We do.
Yes, we
let's get into this.
In the locker room. That is for sure.
Yeah, we blast music, dance, sing.
Now, who picks the music?
Usually Tara, Rachel.
What's playing in the locker room?
Oh,
what's
rap.
the warm-up music too?
Rap.
Yeah.
We can't.
Are we talking like Drake? What are some examples here?
You asked the two country.
She's 50-50. She said,
all right.
Yeah, Nicole says she dabs in every genre of music.
It's like some dubstep, so like I don't know.
Our warm-up CD. Tara made our warm-up CD.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's all like mixed together. She cuts parts out, blah blah blah. But what was it, like Sandstorm? I don't even know.
All right.
Yeah. It got the techno thing going. Okay, I got you.
Right. What before we get to kind of the fun stuff, what do you guys want to do after high school? Do you want to keep playing volleyball? Do you want to go to college? What do you want to do with your lives? If you don't know, it's fine. But what do you guys want to do?
I don't know if I want to play volleyball yet for college, but I definitely want to go to a college and be a teacher, be an early childhood education teacher. So.
Okay. Any ideas what schools?
I want to stay local because I don't miss my family too much. I mean,
I want to go for early childhood education also.
You guys all want to be teachers, it seems like. Yeah.
My aunt's a teacher, so I've followed her and watched her teach, and it's just now I just really, really love it. Then now that I got that hands-on kind of experience, and I want to stay close, either go to CCAC for 2 years and then transfer, or go to Slippery Rock for all 4 years.
Okay.
Slippery Rock's such a good program for teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's jump into some fun stuff, huh?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. We have like 10 minutes left, so that's plenty of time. We got to sing "Happy Birthday" to Tara, so we can't forget that. All right, we'll start on the left. We'll start with Audra. Favorite school subject?
Would gym count?
I'll allow it. Sean might not. I'll allow it.
Yeah, well, what I told you, I listened to the show last week, and all the girls couldn't name anything, including gym. They said they hated gym, which
I love gym.
I don't get it. I was a big gym fan. I was a little disappointed that we didn't, play some of the sports I prefer. There's no hockey in my gym, but gym counts.
Soccer.
But you have to say what your favorite sport in gym is for it to count.
Okay.
Wall ball is
Wall ball?
It's a version of volleyball, but you play with a softer, bigger ball. We play up in the wrestling gym, so it's like a bunch of padded mats. So if people get injured, they won't get hurt.
Too bad.
If people get injured, they won't get hurt.
They won't get hurt too bad.
All right. Favorite movie?
The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault. That's a new movie.
It is, and it's a tearjerker.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. That's not very funny though. It's a serious movie.
It is.
All right.
Very serious.
That's okay.
It's not all fun and games, Joe.
Yeah, movies are not all fun. No. Favorite TV show?
Finding Carter and Pretty Little Liars.
Okay, I've never heard of the first one.
Pretty Little Liars is very popular, I know.
Yeah, it is.
Not one of my favorites, but I think that if you ask the vast majority of girls in Pennsylvania that are in high school, I think that would be the most prevalent answer.
What is Pretty Little Liars? What's this show about?
Oh, man. Okay.
Sum it up in like 5 seconds if you can.
Okay, well, there was this group of 5 friends, and one of them went missing one night, and they found her body like a year later. And then
sounds morbid. Okay,
this is dark. Yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
And then comes 2-3 seasons later that it wasn't her body, and she's actually alive. She's not dead.
And there's a stalker throughout the whole entire TV series
that knows all their secrets.
Oh, wow.
Knows all their lies.
What channel is this on?
ABC Family.
Sounds like a family-friendly show. Right. Stalkers and dead bodies.
Corpses, yeah.
ABC Family version of True Detective, apparently. Favorite musical artist?
Okay. I like Luke Bryan as to Tara and Taylor.
Okay.
I mean, any kind of country.
And you went to the concert?
I did go to the concert,
okay.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Zach Brown Band. I can go every days.
Okay. Well, we don't have days, so we'll cut you off there. And we'll move to Audra. Favorite school subject?
Nicole.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nicole, sorry.
It's okay.
I even have right and left on the paper next to you, so I don't mix up, and I did anyway. Nicole Ostrander.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yes.
All right. Defensive specialist. I know who you are.
And that's with an O, right? I overheard that.
With an O.
Okay.
Yeah,
with an O.
People always think it's with an A.
Look how your coach.
Yeah, see?
Coach spelled it wrong, too?
He spelled it with an A, yeah.
He's not here, so I can say
People
that
try
now.
to spell it with A's all the time.
Brian. Favorite school subject, Nicole?
Math or...
That was a really hesitant answer.
Yeah. Well, does child development count as a subject?
Sure.
Okay, so math and child development.
Okay. Favorite movie?
The Little Rascals.
She said that earlier, and I was impressed with that because that's not a movie that was a movie that came out when you and I were probably kids. Not.
Well, I'm kind of my favorite movies for the most part are comedies from the '80s, and I don't remember any of the '80s really. So
that's true.
I go maybe 10 years before my time for the movies that I like, so I can see that.
Okay, all right. Favorite musical artist?
This is a tough one.
I'm so happy that no one asked us questions because I could not think of any of these. We really put them on the spot.
I would pick an answer, and then I'd realize that there was 10 things that would be better answers, and I'd want to go back and amend it. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like a lot of people. Luke Bryan, Jesse James, Tara.
Wait, so Eric Decker's wife is a musical artist too?
Yeah.
Is she is the Nicki Minaj, and is that Ariana Grande? Is that her, or am I wrong?
No, that's not her.
Okay. Well, then I have no idea.
Do you know the song Wanted?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
Sorry.
No, I'm not singing.
I didn't know. I thought she was.
She was
just a
she was
reality
really
star.
big before they met. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't even know Eric Decker had a chick, so I can't.
Yeah, he has a reality show.
And a kid.
Yeah.
I must be missing out.
All right, last question, and either of you can answer, but we told them to come up with any, dirt, any funny stories on you guys. So now you get to tell anything funny, any good stories.
And they can't hear you.
It's like stuff we can say, but we can't say it.
Okay.
It's kind of personal, but
Okay. Well, we don't have to get too personal with that. Who's like the team clown?
Rachel.
Rachel. That was an instant answer right there.
So what are some of the things that she's done to earn that distinction?
It's just her personality.
Yeah, she just kind of like
we say in practice, Brian will be like, we have to join Rachel's party because Rachel got it going on. So I'll be like, Rachel, I have to join your party. She's like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
And any pranks amongst that you can remember?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. But you guys are all seniors.
I think the fact that Brian came here with you guys and then just left, he deserves a prank.
And he drove all them in a minivan, so they're walking home.
So you guys are walking back to Imperial? Is that what's going to happen? Hopefully they all have rides home. Yeah. Because all right, that's fine. You guys don't have to give any dirt away or anything like that. I respect that. But again, Audra on the left and Nicole on the right. Audra Killen and Nicole Ostrander, both seniors at West Allegheny. West Allegheny will next be in action, by the way, tomorrow at McKeesport. Then they'll return home on Thursday. Big matchup against undefeated Baldwin. That game will be Thursday night, so make sure if you want to head out to those matchups. It should be a couple of good ones, and particularly that Baldwin one on Thursday should be a terrific matchup. Audra and Nicole, thank you guys so much. We're going to bring, if you guys could, one of you, maybe Nicole because you're on the end, we're going to bring back Tara, Taylor, and Rachel, and we're going to sing Tara happy birthday.
Sounds good. I got one other thing here on the fly here, Josh. I listened last week, and I'm always listening on my mobile device to previous broadcasts, doing my research.
Okay.
And they did something called shout-outs at the end of this show. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, from my old Whammo days of listening to rap music on Whammo, they did a lot of shout-outs.
Whammo is still around.
It's not the same. Whammo used to be a rap station, and then it left, and then it came back. So now it's back. Yeah, 100%. She knows. She's she probably knows a country station too.
104.7 is one of the new countries.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, we've plugged enough other radio stations tonight, so we're gonna bring back in Tara, Taylor, and Rachel. So can someone go grab them? They could bring the cake too. There they are. Oh, they're waiting. All right. All right. So I'm not going to sing directly in the microphone because that would be terrible. So you guys, we've done this before too. We had someone's birthday last year. What's that?
We don't have a lighter.
I don't have a lighter. We might have a lighter here. We can.
That would just be more dramatic.
If somebody can start a fire in the next 10 seconds, we can have candles lit. But other than that, you can pretend to blow out the candles. I don't know.
I can do that.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
I'm getting a picture here, Josh, so I'm going to get the...
Okay. All right. So you guys can start singing happy birthday to Tara.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tara. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Those candles went right out. You guys should have seen it listening at home. Okay, so first of all, we'll thank Brian Begor, even though he left. That's fine. No, it's okay. We understand. Tara Savitsky, Taylor Hottenfeller, Rachel Buck, Audra Killen, Nicole Ostrander. Anybody you guys want to give a shout out to? Any
friends, teachers,
teammates,
enemies,
friends, frenemies? Is that a word now?
Frenemies, yeah, that's a word.
Oh man.
Not a word I use.
No one's jumping to give shout outs here. I thought we had this good idea. I was listening to Bob Warquist and Mike Azadian.
My mom's watching.
Okay.
My mom.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ostrander.
Mrs. Ostrander, hello. Hello.
The fam.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. So there's like we shouted out to 4 people tonight. That's good. Okay. You guys really don't like anybody else, do you? Okay. That's fine. As a reminder, you can follow the MSA Sports Network on Twitter at MSA Sports. You can follow us on Facebook, which apparently we learned tonight is for family. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MSA Sports. I run all of our social media accounts, so I have to plug it every time I do something. So it's good.
You need to get on that Instagram ASAP.
Hey, I suggested Instagram. I brought it up in a meeting, so we'll see.
Maybe not Snapchat just yet, but
I don't think we're ready for Snapchat. I don't think. Maybe. We're going to take the advice of the West Allegheny senior volleyball players, and I'm going to take that to our next meeting.
Your first picture can be us.
Yeah.
There we go. That'll be our first Instagram. It'll be West Allegheny because they backed us for Instagram. Okay. Again, Tara, Taylor, Rachel, Audra, Nicole, and Brian Beagler as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy birthday, Tara. And we will see you guys down the road here. I know we have, I think, 2 matches to come out, and then all your playoff games. We'll have all your playoff games right here at MSAsports.net as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, for Sean Meyers, I'm Josh Rowntree. This has been the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball Program Show right here at MSAsports.net. For Sean Meyers, I'm Josh. So long. We will be back next Monday night. New team right here on the network.